Raindrops keep falling on my head. Good morning, All Faith. We're a little thin today. It's okay. My name is Hudanik, and I do believe most of you have seen my email address where it says Annalie, B-L-U, which spells blue, but it has nothing to do with blue. However, I like blue. Blue shirt, blue shoes, blue eyes. I'm trying to turn this red state blue, you know. And on the back of each personal letter that I write, I have a stamp, and it says, Cat Lady. I'm covered. Okay, welcome to All Faith Unitarian Congregation. It is a great pleasure for me to be leading our service today. As is our custom, we are honored to greet the ancestors and descendants of the Calusa people whose land we are grateful to call our home. We honor your legacy. Here you will find a diverse and inclusive spiritual community where we welcome people with many beliefs. You can bring your whole self, your full identity, your questioning mind, and expansive heart. We have more than one way of experiencing the world and understanding the sacred. No matter who you are, wherever you are on your spiritual journey, and no matter whom you love, you are truly welcome here. At All Faith, we are each other's keeper. Is anyone visiting for the first or second time? Well, in spirit, you might be here. If so, please raise your hand. Welcome. We are glad that you are with us today. If you would like to know more about All Faith, please see one of our greeters after our service at our Welcoming Center, which is just behind the folding doors, or our website, allfaithuu.org. You will find information about upcoming events on page 2 of your order of service.
And greetings. I'm Carlos Garcia, your Director of Music. When using the teal hymnals, remember to refer to the back of the hymnal for your songs 361 and 123. I now invite you to please rise in body and or spirit as we sing our opening song, number 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
Joyce and Sorrows. My brain fog here. May I invite Joyce Schaefer to come up and be our chalice lighter? And would you please join in the words? Long ago, the chalice of communion wine was set apart for priests alone. We would all share in the bounty of the earth, wind and milk, bread and meat, that none may go hungry. Long ago, those who spoke their minds freely were put to death by fire. We would use fire to warm all bodies and light all minds. Long ago, freedom-loving people put flames upon the jealous as a symbol of freedom and sharing for all. As we light this flame, we dedicate ourselves to freedom and sharing.
What a day we are having today. Another storm coming through. We don't know if it's a tropical storm, tropical depression, almost a hurricane. We have no idea what's really going on out there, which is why we're a little sparse this morning, but that's okay. I'm so pleased for those of you who ventured out into the rain and made it here. And my prayer is that we will all make it back home safely when we leave here today. Now, it is time for our joys and sorrows. I noticed that we all kind of spread out. If you want to move up a little, that's okay also. But if not, stay where you are. If you're comfortable, we're all right with that. So joys and sorrows. This is a time when you get the opportunity to come up and share with us what's been going on with you, the concerns, the issues, your joys, your sorrows, and of course, your gratitudes. Won't you come? Let me get this. Okay.
Good morning, everyone. As I look out, I see all of the people that I call the reliables. You look around, these are people that show up no matter what. You always show up, and I have a name for you. It's the reliables. Today I'm lighting a candle for Frankie Jennings. She's been in the hospital this week. She had a heart catheterization for diagnosis, and she's hoping to get home soon. So please hold her in your healing thoughts and prayers.
For the reliables and for Frankie. Another reliable if she were able to make it this morning. Oh, look who's in the line. Okay.
For all of you here and everybody who is watching, Operation Joy thanks you for your donations. We were able to spend $840 on school clothing, underwear, socks, shoes for the children of Tice Elementary School. It's a Title I school. 97% of the children there are Hispanic, and 77% of those children are on the poverty line. So your $5, $10, $50 donation makes a big difference. Thank you.
Operation Joy. To bring joy to children is a blessing indeed. Thank you. Thank you, Annalie. Oh, Giovanni.
Good morning. All right. So I'll express a gratitude. The last few weeks have been very chaotic and very uncertain, though I can say that I'm grateful for the fact that even though it has been that dark and uncertain, I have never felt lost. There's always some path to follow, and that has always been the case throughout my life, and I'm very grateful for that because I know that's not the case for everyone. Yeah, I follow whatever is leading you down in the chest, and you'll find your way eventually. So.
Thank you, Giovanni. You encourage us all. We all remember youth and the challenges associated with it, and it lets us know that just like you said, sometimes it can be dark, you swing that corner, it's like, boo, and then other times it's a blessing. So we thank you for sharing with us and reminding us the challenges are meant to overcome. Come on down, come on down. Persevere. Linda.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You're lucky if it's just raindrops that are falling on your head. We came home last night And right where my car would have been was this very large, very heavy frond branch, which would have dented the top of my car, I think, if my car had been where it usually was. So I'm very grateful for whatever cosmic force. I don't want to move my car, I don't know, but anyhow, there you are. So it's more than raindrops we got going here. I'm grateful for a drug called Paxlovid. 3 weeks ago, I woke up and couldn't taste anything. So we had this little COVID test thing, Bobber, and sure enough, having examined certain parts of my body, it turned out that I had COVID. And I let my doctor know, and for 5 days I took this drug and some vitamins, supplements, and on the 6th day, I rose again. So if you lose your sense of taste, do not delay, because the sooner that you get these wonderful drugs in your system, the sooner you'll be back up and running around. Thank you. So I'm very grateful.
Linda takes a licking and keeps on kicking.
I'm grateful for the All Faith members who participated yesterday with the Floridians for Democracy and filled out 1,000 postcards to registered voters in our community. One of our members is the leader of that organization, and I certainly encourage you to learn more about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. Yes, it's very important. We know what time of the year it is. I like this candle, that we may be cognizant of what's going on in our political spectrum. Anyone else? Well, I like this candle, this last two candles. The first one I'm going to light for Reverend Wayne, our beloved minister who's crossed over and transitioned. I had the opportunity to go visit Joy Schaefer, sit with her and have dinner and look at some of Wayne's old things. I was deeply moved, and I could also tell you why Wayne loved Joyce. She is a magnificent woman, and I am so sorry for your loss. But we are all here to surround you with love and let you know that we will lift you and the family up in any way that we can. Reminder, next week, Saturday, at 1 p.m. in the afternoon, we will be honoring Wayne at his memorial service. I expect the church to be crowded, so show up and let us do this right. He is our one to honor. Let us not forget, we stand upon his shoulders. And they apparently were broad. He may not have been the tallest person, but he had very broad shoulders, and he's been carrying us for a long, long time. So remember him. And lastly, may we remember anyone who may be experiencing pain, suffering, unwanted things. Remember to lift them up in your heart and your prayer if you're a praying person, if you're meditating, or just to remember to send light and love. And let us rejoice with those who are also experiencing great gratitudes. May it be so. So light this candle. Hold them. Hold us all in your heart.
I'd like to ask everyone to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let us turn our minds and our hearts to today's service and contemplate our blessings. call us.
Please rise as we sing Spirit of Life, number 123, in your gray hymnal, Spirit of Life. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Every time we sing that song, we get to that one line where it says, giving life the shape of justice, and my mind immediately tries to figure out what is the shape of justice. I don't know if that happens to you, but my mind has been going, what is the shape of justice? And I think today, we might just expose what the shape of justice is all about. Luckily for you, you get to hear it in person right here today. Well, I'm about to share with you our opening words, and if you notice, I'm speaking into a microphone because my lapel thing is not working properly. So if you see me going back and forth, getting my stuff all together, that's why I'm not accustomed to it. No matter where my mouth moves, just take the mic with me. Here we go. Our opening words for today. It's called Being Human Means We Are of This Earth. May we recognize and abandon the familiar attitudes and practices that do not serve the whole. We are who we are, and we have the opportunity to be who we want to be, to create a new inheritance for the future. May our thoughts, words, and actions in our daily lives assist in dismantling paradigms of oppression and suffering. May we give thanks for our individual place in time and space, thanks to our families and our relationships that touch and change us. May we give thanks to the wise teachers who help us remember how to be and the chance to make it so. Underneath and within these stories and histories is our humanity. Being human means we are of this earth. We are these waters. We are fire and atmosphere. We are the sun and the moon and the stars. We are all that we see, and the wisdom is revealed by looking in between. Look deeply, and you too will know.
He's a real nowhere man, sitting in his nowhere land, making all his nowhere plans for nobody. Doesn't have a point of view, knows not where he's going to. Isn't he a bit like you and me? Nowhere man, please listen, you don't know what you're missing. Nowhere man, the world is at your command. He's a real blind as he just sees what he wants to see. Nowhere man can you see me at all. Nowhere man, man, don't worry, take your time, don't hurry, leave at all, till somebody else is at your command. Doesn't have a point of view, knows not where he's going to. Isn't he a bit like you and me? He's as blind as you can be, just sees what he wants to see. Nowhere, man, can you see me at all. Nowhere, man, please listen, you don't know what you're missing. Nowhere, man, the world is at your command. He's a real nowhere man, sitting in his nowhere land, making all his nowhere plans for nobody. Making all his nowhere plans for nobody.
Today's reading. For religion to be significant. For religion to be significant, it has to provide more than the comforts of community. It also has to provide opportunities for deepening, for what I call spiritual growth, and for the casting down of false images and stereotypes which hurt us all. A good religion has to open us to the real diversity of our modern world. For our work as liberal religious people, it is not to be competitive with others and to find ways to supersede others, but rather to find ways to supersede ourselves, to grow beyond our limitations and our constrictive boundaries, each and every one of us. Diversity, you see, must not end up being some sort of feel-good slogan, a word we keep in our back pocket to make us feel like we're broad-minded. Diversity is a gift. It cannot be a gift unless it is received. It is only received when there are hands and hearts open enough to receive it. And the opening of fists into welcoming hands and welcoming hearts is our spiritual work.
Yeah. Hello. Oh. This morning, we're going to share with you a body prayer. You can participate seated or you may stand. So what we're going to do first is that you're going to hear Carlos sing it, because he's going to sing and play the bowl, and Dotti and I'll stand here and look nice. The next time, you'll hear Carlos singing it again. We expect by that time, because there's only 2 verses, that you too will be able to sing along. While that is happening, Dotti and I will be demonstrating the body prayer. If you feel comfortable, we encourage you to join us. If not, we ask that you sit and meditate in your own way. Again, this is a body prayer, so there will be movement, mostly the top half of your body, which is why you can do it seated or standing. We have plenty of room today, so I suggest if you can stand, and it's your desire, stand and do it along with us. You may need a little room, so feel free to just take a step away from the person that you may be sitting beside. We will begin now.
Circle round for freedom, circle round for peace, for those of us imprisoned, circle for release. Circle for the planet, circle for each soul, for the children of our children. Keep the circle.
I believe you have it, so we will now proceed.
Circle round for freedom, circle round for peace, for those of us imprisoned, circle for release, circle for the planet, circle for each soul, for the children of our children. Keep the circle. Circle round for freedom, circle round for peace, for those of us imprisoned, circle for release, circle for the planet, circle for each soul, for the children of our children. Keep the circle.
Circle round for freedom. Oh, I'm so used to having my lapel on. Okay. Circle round. Circle round for freedom. Oh, that would be so nice, Carlos. Thank you. Yes, it has been revealed. Giving life the shape of justice, I believe it is in a circle. So when I think of what's the shape of justice, I think of a circle, all inclusive. No one's pushed out. We're all together. Right here on this planet Earth, which by the way is also a circle. And not only is it a circle, but it spins around in a circle. But it goes the opposite way. You know, we like to go like a clock. But that's not how Mother Earth goes. She goes the other way. We'll talk about that another time. I just want to let you know, to me, the shape of justice might just be a circle. So some of you may know who I am, some of you may not. Those of you who are watching may not know. Everyone who's sitting in front of me, I'm pretty sure you all know who I am. But for those of you who do not, my name is Alberita Johnson. Most people call me Albie, and around here, I'm known as the minister. Today, we're going to talk about circles, and I'm going to specifically talk about what we have in common within our circle of circles. I'm calling it all things common. All things common? We shall see. Common. What an interesting word. It's a root word with Middle English and Old French and, of course, Latin origins. From the word common, we derive many words. Communist. That sounds like a scary word, but it's not that scary. Communion. Community. Those are the three I want to focus on today. Each of these words can take us on a journey. Our first leg. Communists. And I'm not adding the T. It's just C-O-M-M-U-N-I-S. Communists. moves us quickly to communism, of course, and extreme leftist ideals, whose goal is the creation of communist society, a socio-economic order centered around common ownership of the means of production, distribution, exchange, that shares products with everyone in the society based upon their need. Sounds like a wonderful thing, doesn't it? Well, that also includes the absence of private property and social classes, and ultimately money. If we all just going to meet the needs of one another consistently, we may not need all of this I have and you don't have, because everything is just wonderful, or at least it sounds so. Yeah, it does. Some might argue that it's a hopeful and elusive thing, like Shangri-La. We all know Shangri-La, that imaginary, beautiful place, often there's some far-off, distant place where everything is just pleasant and wonderful, and you get everything that you want. A heaven on earth, all things in common, and a little need for religion. If you notice, there was no religion or spirituality within that. Now we see these are lofty ideals, and some communists often seek a voluntary state of self-governance. You could do this. You could just be all about you. And the problem is that people disagree on how to be communists. How to be that. How do you meet that end? They're still trying to figure it out. The next step on the journey is the communion. Now this one makes us take a leap of faith. Why? Well, we're going to talk about it in the sense of the basic common uses of the word and the practice of Christianity. So when the Apostle Paul wrote his first letter to the people of Corinth, combining communists, no T, and the word common from the Latin with Greek koinonia, which means partnership and fellowship. And we do know that the English dictionary and the Greek point to a sharing which also involves, and this is the big word with communion, fellowship. Fellowship. So let me give you an example. We can share a table or room with a stranger and not have fellowship. But in the Lord's Supper, we should have fellowship. So what exactly is that? The condition of sharing similar interests, ideals, or experiences, as by reason of profession or nationality or even religion, and as in communists, no T, often seek a voluntary state of self-governance. Yeah, us religious people, we like self-governance also, and acceptance. This makes the difference. So they're in the same lane as communists, and then just a little differ, where all of a sudden it is self-governance and acceptance or belief in Christianity. Now, some disagree on the means to get there, wherever there may be. How do we get to this wonderful communion table? Some would think that you're going to go to heaven. There you're going to have the ultimate communion. Or maybe heaven is right here on earth and we're still trying to find the table. For some of us, it can be yet another Shangri-La. That imaginary, beautiful place far away where everything is pleasant and there is no want. Fellowship. And this sense is absolutely based on religion, spirituality, and myth. Our last leg. The journey takes a turn. So remember, we're going, and now our journey is starting to curve. It's curving in of sorts. We're moving to a community. Here we land in a pool of both communists and communion. Why? Well, we have self-government based on our common ownership with liberty to choose a religion and or practice, with deep recognition, respect, and acceptance of others and whatever it is that they may be embracing spiritually. You see, the nature of community is found only in our very UU word called interdependence. There can be no true fellowship or communion without it. So for me, there is an invisible glue that holds these three words together: communist, communion. What's the last one? Huh? Community, exactly. See, he always looks like he's sleeping, but he's listening. That is our invisible glue, interdependence, which puts the three of them together. So today we're going to explore the statement and or question. So we can make a statement, all things common, check. Or we can make it a question, all things common? Well, we'll see. And you're going to put a little caveat, if all things are common, to whom or what are all things common? I know, it's just like, there's our circle. It just keeps going around and around. Look, Lewis is shaking his head. He always does that. Years ago, I know, so I know not to pull it all in. Years ago, I learned that we have free will, that we were supposed to be gifted with that from the great God, and that we are above animals, and that we would live in peace and harmony if we really worked at it and trusted God. And for many of us, that has not panned out, unfortunately. For some of us, pain, suffering, needs that are going unfulfilled. Some of us have experienced hypocrisy in the church and even more. Many of us have not witnessed the great benefits of the so-called free will in our lives. Yes, it is common knowledge. No one escapes hardships, yet those in positions of power to help seem to harm those who need the most. For the last few weeks, we've been pondering freedom, free will, liberty, its benefits, and how it can also become a phobia of sorts when freedom becomes frightening. We have observed the signals: false accusations, fear of other peoples, fear of other customs, fear of different skin colors, fear of different traditions, fear of other religions, fear of their poverty, fear of their languages, and God forbid it's an accent that you can't understand. All kind of scary things these different folk bring with them. Yeah, let that sink in for a minute. Some kind of strange, frightening fear of others. There was a song years ago, and there was this one long line in the song, and it said, "I got the power." I don't know, but somehow or another, this fear has become so frightening that you would think that they've got the power. No, we have the power. We have the power. It does not seem so, but we definitely have it. Unfortunately, we have observed wealthy business folks and many politicians ensure their wealth and power while implementing rules to keep unions away, to pay less wages, and to offer very little benefits, to ensure that others' struggles make them meet their ends. Should I say that again? The suffering of others can help those in positions of power and wealth to stay on top. This insidious behavior is also found in religion, particularly conservatives, Christian nationalism, and the like. It's not communism. There's no fellowship of communion and no community of interdependence. So what is happening? Living under these dire circumstances, is there any wonder why so many are seeking a leader and turning to a charismatic leader to lead them to the Shangri-La that they have mistakenly labeled as freedom? Let me give you an example. Example of freedom to them might be something like this. It is free for me to commit insurrection against the very country that I claim to love and the very Constitution that I claim to live by. And not only will I do this insurrection, but my freedom allows me to run up on you and kill you, because the loss of life is not that important as long as I have my freedom. If their leader says it's the right thing to do, we have to watch out, because freedom to them is frightening. I must squash you in order to maintain my freedom and ensure my power. My friends, this to me is reminiscent of cult-like behaviors. So here's a short list of cult-like behaviors. Tendency to isolate members from the outside. Members. We may not know we're members, but if you're glued to the same news channel, everywhere you go, you have to watch it. Every restaurant, every bar, you have to have it on your TV 24 hours, 7 days a week, and early in the morning before you go to bed. Before you wake, just as you wake up, you turn it on. There is some insidious people out there talking all kind of stuff. There's also a devotion to an ideal, a cause, or a leader. And they have this narrative that positions groups against outsiders, the others. And they have this black and white thinking. There's no nuance. There's no place in the middle. It's either left, right, up, down, black, white. That's it. No room for questions or discussions. You know how hard it is to have a conversation. And often they're under the influence or excessive control of their lives. They may not realize it, but it's happening. Kind of like my way or the highway. So they attempt to attract you also, or squash you. And lastly, let me give you these key indicators to watch for, which include a sudden and intense devotion to a new belief or group, often accompanied by a marked change in personality and priorities. So I have a question for you. How many of you, and that means all of you, even those who are watching, no longer recognize some relatives or friends or a neighbor? What has happened to community? The fellowship, the respect of religion and differences you once had with them. What has happened? You see, my brothers, my sisters, my siblings, we need not run away from them. Instead, we must welcome them back to what we have in common. I think we can widen our circle at the communion table. I think we can widen our circle and assist the needy, seeking to level the playing field, as in communism. And I think we can. I think we must open our circle to community, of which there are many. We have talked often about the beloved community, a vision that became prominent when Martin Luther King spoke of it, when laying out his concept of the assumption that human existence is social in nature. Social in nature. Think about that. None of us are an island. We need each other. There is no way about it. From the rudest, most obnoxious person to the most tame and timid and shy person, we all need each other. The strong can bear the weak, and the weak can bear the strong. But if we all the same, we wouldn't be able to stand each other. We all know that. All you have to do is look in the mirror and say something like this. This has been challenging to many people when I'm doing pastoral counseling. They're talking and telling me all of their whatnot. Deep sadness often. And then I say to them, how do you feel about you? It's like a surprise question. They're looking out, but what about you? How do you feel about you? Do you love yourself? And that question seems to open up a flood of tears. Do you love yourself enough that you can love others? That's where I'm going when I ask that question. You see, for Martin Luther King, he frequently used the phrase, the solidarity of the human family, to express the idea of beloved community. It's a solidarity. Yes, every week, like clockwork, we donate. We give to this one, we share the plate here, we share the plate there, we do this, we do that. And that is what we call charity. Solidarity is when you lock arms, when you get to know the person and you get to respect the people that you are giving to. Otherwise, it's charity, and that's a good thing. But they need more than catch what we throw at them. They need solidarity. We need solidarity. Again, the human family can only express beloved community and solidarity. You see, Martin went on to say, we are tied together in the single garment of destiny, caught in an inescapable network of mutuality. This he said in one of his addresses. This was a way of affirming that reality is made up of structures that form an interrelated whole. In other words, that human beings are dependent upon each other. Whatever a person is or possesses, he owes to others who have preceded him. We did not just have everything. Somehow or another, some things have preceded. It's because our family, our friends, maybe even our nation has invested in us. But it didn't just happen. You were born, but some things had to happen for you to get to where you're going. You weren't alone in achieving your goals. King also wrote, whether we realize it or not, each of us lives eternally in the red. What does that mean? Well, what he's trying to let us know is that we need to recognize our indebtedness to past generations, and that it should inhibit the sense of self-sufficiency and promote awareness that personal growth cannot take place apart from meaningful relationship with other people, other persons. And then he summed it up like this. The I cannot attain fulfillment without the thou. I cannot reach my destination without you. The I cannot be satisfied. The I cannot grasp complete fulfillment without thou, without you. Again, the statement, all things in common, right? All things in common? The question. Well, I say absolutely. We need the earth and her atmosphere that provides everything we need to be alive, and that includes I and thou, me, you, we, us. All of us are needed to have things in common. Individuals choosing to live a life of both and. That's a real big thing in Unitarian Universalism. Both and. It's kind of like you're standing right in the middle. And you're in the circle. And you're in the middle of that circle. And when you turn around, you see both and. We sing about it. We sang about it today. What did we sing about? Well, we did motions and everything. We choose independence and interdependence in our infinite circle. So what do we ask for in our infinite circle? Remember that shape of justice? Well, we asked for freedom, right? So we said, circle around for freedom, and we did our little arms. I say, let us embrace that. We sang circle round for peace. May we be an instrument of peace. We sang about those in prison behind bars, those in prisons of doubt and fear. Can we help to open the doors? We sang about Mother Earth. Can we stop harming her? We sang circle round for each soul. Can we recognize the beauty of all life? We sang about the children of our children. Let us remember to leave them a safe place, a secure place, a home right here on earth. That's how we keep our circle home. You see, I've heard it said you can run, but you can't hide. No one is outside of the circle. We are born, we live, we die. That is our cycle. That is a complete circle. No one escapes. So won't you join with me this morning? Live the best life you can, yielding to what is common to us, accepting differences in this common era, and create a beautiful community with love at the center. So our community grows. It becomes a beloved community. Together, we can create that. May it be so. Amen and Ashe. supposed to stand up here and ask people for money. I know you're all prepared. It happens all the time. So, I see people waving their check and everything. But before we do that, I tell a joke. I've been joking all the way through because this is a heavy day, and I'm so grateful that you all pulled yourself out and ventured into the rain. But my joke for today, this is a political joke, so hold on to yourselves. It's called the barber, as in barbershop, community service. One day a florist went to a barber for a haircut. After the cut, he asked about his bill, and the barber replied, "I cannot accept money from you. I'm doing community service this week." The florist was pleased and left the shop. When the barber went to open his shop the next morning, there was a thank you card and a dozen roses waiting for him at his door. Well, later, a police officer, comes in for a haircut. And when he tries to pay his bill, the barber again replied, "I cannot accept money from you. I'm doing community service this week." Well, the cop was happy and he left the shop also. The next morning, when the barber went to open up, there was a thank you card and a dozen donuts waiting for him at his door. Then a congressman came in for a haircut. And when he went to pay his bill, the barber again replied, "I cannot accept money from you. I'm doing community service this week." And the congressman was very happy and left the shop. The next morning, when the barber came to open up, there were a dozen congressmen lined up waiting for a free haircut. I thought that would get you. That was a good one. Okay, so now it is time for our official offertory. We appreciate your generous donations which support our dedicated staff, our beautiful facilities, inspiring services, interesting activities, and social outreach here at All Faiths. And part of our outreach, remember, is to support our community partners. We call them sharing the plate people. That's what we share the plate. This month, we're sharing with Quality Life Center, which is right down the road, not far from us at all. So you remember, there's a plastic box back there. You can put your cash in. You can write a check and make sure you write QLC so we know where it's going to. Or you could just put something in the bag and we'll be ever so grateful for it. All of you can participate. To do so, we invite our visitors and guests to complete your completed visitor cards in the offertory baskets. We don't have any guests today. It's probably because of the rain. However, some people may be watching us out there in Streamland. Feel free to participate in giving. Write that check, put QLC if you want to donate to Quality Life Center, and or donate directly to All Faiths. You can do that by mailing your check to us, or you can go on our website, allfaithsuu.org. Our offering will now be taken and gratefully received.
When selecting this song, I had to choose something that was all things common, and I thought, well, most of us were children at once. We all went to school, and school's about to start next week. So this is all kind of school and all things common based. See if many of these things that I say relates to you when you had your childhood, because it is beautiful, it is common of us to do so, and it's called We're Going to Be Friends. Fall is here, hear the yell, back to school, ring the bell, brand new shoes, walking blues, climb the fence, books and pens, I can tell that we are gonna be friends. Yes, I can tell that we are gonna be friends. Walk with me, Susie Lee, through the park and by the tree. We can rest up on the ground and look at all the bugs we found. Safely walk to school up on the ground. We safely walk to school without a sound. Well, here we go, no one else. We walk to school all by ourselves. There's dirt on our uniforms from chasing all the bugs and worms. We clean up and now it's time to learn. We clean up and now it's time to learn. Numbers, letters, learn to spell, nouns and books and show and tell. Playtime we will throw the ball, then back to class and through the hall. Teachers mark our height against the wall. The teachers mark our height against the wall. But we don't notice any time pass, 'cause we don't notice anything. And we sit by the side of in the class. The teacher thinks that I sound funny, but she likes it when you sing. Tonight I'll dream and in my bed, while silly thoughts run through my head, of the bugs and alphabet. And when I wake tomorrow I'll bet you and I will wake together again. You and I will walk together again. I can tell that we are gonna be friends. Yes, I can tell that we are gonna be friends. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful, Carlos. And we are friends. Friends choose each other. They're not born together like family, but friends choose each other. Aren't you glad you've been chosen? Our closing words for today. May the love that overcomes all differences, that heals all wounds, that puts to flight all fears, that reconciles all who are separated, be in us and among us, now and always. Amen and amen.
And please sing along. Let's get together for that one part that goes, come on, people now. Normally the words say smile on your brother, but we're changing it to smile on each other. Love is but a song we sing, and fear's the way we die. You can make the mountains ring, or make the angels cry. No, the dove is on the wing, and you need not know why. Come on, people now, smile on each other, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Some will come and some will go, and we will surely pass. When the one who left us here returns for us at last, we are but a moment's sunlight fading on the grass. Come on, people now, smile on each other, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on each other, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. If you heard the song I sing, you must understand. You hold the key to love and fear all in your trembling hand. One key unlocks them both, you know, and it's at your command. Come on, people now, Smile on each other, everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on each other, everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. Right now. Right now, and right now. Thank you, Russ.
We thank Alberita Johnson for the inspiring message, which I hope she will repeat again when we have a full house. Carlos for the music, Dotti Mayol for the interpretive, hard word for me, body prayer, and all the others who contribute to our services. It is good to be connected in whatever way that we can. Joyce, may I ask you to come forward? And please join her in reciting the words. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world. Now join us for coffee, cookies, and I think there's cake, and since we are a small group, you all get 3 pieces. And then one more little thing. When you get home, put on some old shoes, go out there and jump in a puddle. It's fun.
Kids.
See you again next week. Thank you for coming. I only